Well, vulnerable takes on several meanings with regard to the project. You normally look at vulnerable as a word that's about maybe being weak as a result of being open and susceptible to hurt. That's what. So it's not necessarily about being weak. It's about accepting that someone could hurt you. This album is about a guy who is okay with falling in love again, and I think I relate to that. I think that for men, being vulnerable is also about how we communicate, because most of us do not grow up in situations where we're taught to communicate our feelings and our emotions, and it causes misunderstanding. It takes a maturing to get to the point of vulnerability where you're really able to nurture it in a relationship and to have that trust. It takes a lot of maturing. I have a push story. I think a lot of people have a push story, you know, where they may have been the person pushed out of the way, or they may have been like me, where I pushed a young lady out of the way when I was starting my career because I didn't think she was going to be able to go through the grind that I was going to have and the sacrifices. And some of that was admirable because it was going to be difficult. But in immaturity, I never allowed her to participate in the conversation. I pushed her away. And 15 years later, I had the conversation. 15 years later, I had the conversation, and I was like, you know what, you're probably like, what happened to us? Yeah. You know, what really, I mean, and then I finally broke it down. I said, you know what, it really was this. I was afraid that it wasn't going to work, and I would be carrying the weight and trying to do my career at the same time and all. And I said, I apologize because I didn't allow you to participate in that. And she was cool about it, and she just said, you know, I would have been able to handle it. You know, it's nowhere near the direction that I thought I'd go in because it has an 80s homage to it. And I was like, but I lived in the 80s. You did, I know you, or you might have been a baby or something, but I was like, no, I lived in the 80s. So I really liked it because I was like, yeah, this sounds like I'm in like 85 or something, you know. And it was just, and I've studied the music too, but it was funny because as we were creating the material, what made it different was that the sound of the music was different, and I'm singing more the melodies and cadence of Drakkar Wesley. It's like becoming the new Kenny Lattimore sound, if you will, but it really takes being around great other people that are creative. I will never tell you that, yep, I've got so much creativity for years. I'm going to come back with something brand. I'm going to reinvent myself next year. You know, yeah. It really is about surrounding yourself with great people that inspire you. The one thing that separates traditional R&B from modern R&B is the element of being able to provide it live, right here on the spot, give it up and entertain. And not just play a record. The reason why a person, and this is my parents' generation, but I listened to my parents' generation, but the reason why Gladys Knight could sing in this room and turn these chairs upside down and people were in here is because of having to grow up singing under all kinds of different circumstances, not with auto-tune, not with the best microphone. So this generation does some great stuff, but I don't think that this generation has lived in the same manner the art itself. They may have lived hard times, they may have lived things that create a wonderful story and a narrative that may be truth, but in terms of living the art, it takes some years to do that. I love it because I see possibility again. I see faith, I see possibility and hope. I also see me. I wrote a song about him on this new album called More Than Life. I Love You More Than Life. And you know, part of what I write in the song is, you know what, I thought I wanted to come and change the world with a song, but you know, you may be greater than I'll ever be. I don't ever want to make him try to be who I am or anything. I'm trying to watch him develop in his understanding of what his purpose and path should be. Well, one of the other things I love to do in my life is mentor. I believe God has called me to mentor. That's a ministry where I give information and opportunity to other young men and walk through life with them. It's a lot of people that I like out there, but recently I've been thinking about John Legend. I like his songwriting and his sensibility. And I try to think, what would my voice sound interesting doing? Whose music or how, but I think he's still on the side of traditional music, that he can craft a song, a real song with great melodies and lyrics and things like that. Lots of people do, but I think of his name. I've worked with this person, but this is my ultimate favorite, and I've never done a full song with her, but I worked on a project with her, and that's Shaka Khan. She's my ultimate favorite since I was a little kid. So looking at your future differently. A lot of times we, in America in particular, because we're so blessed with material things, that sometimes we can become materialistic. We're so blessed with peace that sometimes that we take it for granted. So different things shake us to our very core. But when we think about the future of who we are, I think it's about looking deeper. And without vision, the people perish. I remember as a kid growing up and people saying they didn't have much faith. But I think that it's a perspective, because we have to have faith to walk into a building and believe that this chair is going to hold me up. We plop down in it because we believe it. Because we think we see, but we don't see the wheels and the nuts and bolts behind it. We don't really know how well the building is built, but by faith we walk into it and our mind is at rest. But it challenges me to live greater possibility. This is Kenny Lattimore, and I want to show super love to the Los Angeles Sentinel. I thank you for having me here. God bless you.